reason we're all here today is to begin the Young Biz Ikon journey. Now, Oxcell, the Oxford Centre for Excellence, it launched the Young Biz Ikon programme on the 1st of May this year. It's a national programme held through 33 cities and towns to expose youths to learning about how to succeed in business, and has been approved by your Prime Minister. With the provision of business mentors that bring new ideas to the young generation, this special programme serves a perfect opportunity and a platform for young people to venture into world business. And this is a key in maintaining the country's economic and dynamic business sector for the Generation Y. Now, the Generation Y, I prefer to call them the Facebook generation, because really, it's all of you. It's you guys and gals, okay? Before we move on, I would just like to ask Puan Latifa Ahmed, the Director of the Education Technology Department, would you kindly come forward and say a couple of words for our guests? Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a good afternoon to all the Jamaians. Is that what you call yourself? Okay. I already feel young because the person on stage is young and you are all young. I feel very young. Yes. But definitely I'm younger than Mr. Abra because I drink Coke. I think he doesn't. Okay. So today is a great opportunity for you all to meet in close two very successful person who are from UK, and they will share their experience with you all. And let this be a moment for you to gain the experience, the aspiration for you to move forward. And for all you know, their tips may change your life for you to move forward and be successful in future. Okay, enjoy yourself.
Thank you, Puan Latifa Ahmed. Thank you very much. Now, when I was younger, I did have my dreams and my aspirations about what I wanted to be when I grew up. I think my first two choices were professional footballer and Formula One racing driver. But it didn't work out that way. But the most important thing is you have these dreams and aspirations, but so much of what I did do in the end with my career, my life, my work, so much of that was guided through inspiration. Conversations I had with people, things people said to me, questions I asked, answers that I received. There's always something that you go, oh yeah, actually, that sounds good. So, the fantastic thing about Oxcell, okay, the organizer of this wonderful program, is it brings together people who have a like mind, people who want to be inspired, people who want to learn, okay? And through, we call it continuing professional development, you're always talking to people who, we could say they have been there, they have done that, they have the experience. But they've also made mistakes, so it's important you learn from their mistakes as well. Anyway, I am not going to say anything more, apart from, don't forget, at the end of the afternoon, please sort out your membership for the Young Biz Ikon program. Okay, you filled out your registration forms. For 20 ringgit, you will become a member of the Young Biz Ikon program. You have a certificate of attendance and a membership card. And it's very, very worthwhile. And you'll be able to follow the program as it travels around Malaysia. Only 20 years old. Quite amazing. The story, which you may hear more about. But anyway, Sabirul was an ordinary teenager. He actually grew up in the East End of London, that sort of area. where the crime situation, things were not perfect. And basically, he set up his own business at the age of 14. Okay? He discovered the risks of, or the benefits of risk-taking at a very young age. And he learned how to trade, I believe, on the stock markets at the age of 16. Now, he's had a wealth of knowledge and experience as a young entrepreneur and investor. He had the vision and desire to inspire young people across the nation, and he wrote a book called The World at Your Feet at age 17. I will say no more. Please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Sabirul Islam.
And although my parents don't live too far, or were born too far from Bangladesh, you know, they've never traveled here in Malaysia, so for me it's a wonderful experience to take back Malaysia with me, back to my parents, back to the UK, and say to everyone, actually it's one of the most fantastic countries I've ever been to. So why am I here? What is the Young Biz Icon program? What is myself, Sabirul, what is Louis doing here? Well, we're as part of a program to try and empower, motivate, inspire young people like yourself. Young people like yourself with the vision, with the belief that each and every one of you in this room has the ability to be extraordinary, has the ability to achieve something successful. Because I've come across a lot of young people worldwide. And when I ask them, what do you want to achieve in life? There's a problem. There's a problem there because A, they don't know, and B, they don't know because they don't know who they are. Who they are, what they want to do, where they want to go. Self-discovery is critical. Each and every one of you in this room must know what you stand for, who you are, where do you want to go, what you want to do. Simple questions you ask yourself. It's very, very important because a lot of people leave it, oh, once I do my university degree, get my degree, go and look for a job at the age of 25, maybe you'll figure out what I want to do with my life. No, you start now. The earlier you start, the younger you start, the more opportunities you have, the more different people see you as. Because you're born and raised in a society. Malaysia, wonderful, wonderful country. The Prime Minister's done a lot for the country. A lot has been provided for you. But, if you follow what's known as the matrix system, the one simple pathway in life, school, college, university, get a degree, look for a job, then your life is already written for you by somebody else. You want to live your own life, live with passion, live with desire, do the things you want to do. A lot of problems I face, especially being from an Asian community, is the fact that parents will tell you, I wish my son and daughter to become a doctor, to become a lawyer. Yes, your parents may not have the opportunity to become a doctor, become a lawyer, whatever. But if they tell you, I want you to be this, I want you to be that, yes, you take in their words, their advice, but live your own dreams, not theirs. Which is very, very important. Being from an Asian background, Asian culture, I know what it's like. My parents told me, go to school, college, university, get a degree. My uncle told me, once you get a degree, go become a doctor. I said, doctor isn't my passion. I don't want to be a doctor. I want to do something which I believe in. And the mistake a lot of young people make nowadays is when they're looking up to celebrities. They're looking up to celebrities, the Jay-Z's of this world, the Beyoncé's of this world, the Justin Bieber's of this world. And they're thinking, wow, wonderful, wonderful people. And don't get me wrong, they're wonderful, wonderful people, inspirational people. But the way I see it is, they're on top of Mount Everest. They are on top of Mount Everest, and we as young people are still trying to climb this mountain. And suddenly we let go and we're falling back. We need help. We're crying out to Jay-Z and Justin Bieber and Beyonce, can you help me? A lot of people do. They try and write letters to celebrities, can you help me become a singer, an actor, a footballer, whatever. You're shouting out to them, can you help me? Will they listen to you? Will they listen to you? No. Because a lot of people make the mistake, they're looking up far too high, far too soon. It's about looking up to people who are close to you. Who is your true role model? Who is your true inspiration in life? Because at the end of the day, the true role model and true inspiration in life comes from people within your own community, within your own family, people who are one small step ahead of you. Not 10 steps like these Jay-Z's and Justin Bieber's. People who are close to you, family, friends, and that's the sort of mentality and vision I had. I grew up in Tower Hamlets, in the borough in Tower Hamlets in East London. A lot of young people. You know, a lot of people in general, worldwide, think, oh, you're from London, you know, you're rich very, very quickly, glitz and glamour, everything's, you know, given to you. But to be honest, I came from a borough known as Tower Hamlets, one of the most poorest boroughs in the entire United Kingdom. A lot of young people see crime, violence, drugs, alcohol as a way forward. My parents, they've never ever worked, never had a job, living off state benefits. A lot of young people, a lot of people in general in the UK like to be spoon-fed. And that's not just UK, around the world. When you want to achieve something, do it for yourself, make it happen, then you feel pride and value in what you do. Very, very important. A lot of people I know want to sit back, relax, enjoy thinking everything that you want to do and achieve somebody else will give to you. No, it doesn't work like that. The world is changing. If you make something happen for yourself, you become a role model and inspiration for many, many people worldwide. But being born and raised in this borough where a lot of people see crime, violence, drugs, alcohol as a way forward, it was a challenge. Because it was a challenge for me to not want to follow that sort of society. So for me, I've always looked up to my cousin. He's a year older than me. Everywhere he went, I wanted to go. Every school he went to, I wanted to go. Every subject he studied, I wanted to study. Why? Because I love my cousin. I just see him as an inspiration. And he's a year older than me, by the way, so he's not a 30-year-old or anything like that. He's just a year older than me. And what he did at the age of 14, I was 13 at the time, he broke a stereotype. He set up his own business at the age of 14, and I thought, wow, being born and raised in Tower Hamlets and a 14-year-old setting up his own company, that for me was like, I've never ever seen that before. My parents told me, oh, you have to be the age of 40 to set up a business. And that hurt me so much when my parents said that. I have to wait till later on in life to do something. But my cousin broke that stereotype. He wanted to be a successful entrepreneur. He wanted to make his millions, change people's lives. He wanted to do that. He was thinking big. But when you think big, best thing is to always start small. And what he did, he designed 12-month calendars for teachers in schools. So not a great business idea, but he made money. He employed 5 of his friends, made money in school, designing calendars, 12-month calendars, sold it to teachers, and he made around 300 ringgit in one whole academic year. 300, which to me as a 13-year-old was like being a millionaire. Because I've never ever seen that amount of money in my life before. That's how poor the community is that I grew up in. And for me, it's a very, very difficult situation, but what he did, he set up his own company. He was able to gain so much skills and knowledge and leadership. I went up to him. I went up to my cousin, the cousin I love so dearly. I went up to him and said, cousin, can I work for you? He gave me a job there and then. Him at the age of 14 had a title beside his name. He was a managing director at the age of 14, and not many 14-year-olds can say that. He gave me a role. I was the production director, and I was boasting, yeah, I'm a production director at the age of 13. Not many 13-year-olds can say that either. But what happened was, because he was my cousin, I thought I'd just sit back, relax, enjoy, thinking the money he makes for the hard work he puts in running his business, I'd get paid. 2 weeks later, I received my first ever letter through my home post. My first ever letter through my home post at the age of 13 from my cousin, beautifully signed, his most amazing signature on this planet. His company name was the Royal Dragons. Don't know why he came out with that name. But all it said was, Dear Sabirul Islam, you're fired. I was hired and fired by my own cousin at the age of 13, someone I love, someone I've seen as an inspiration, and that hurt me. It hurt me so much. It's like having hit a brick wall in life. Somebody telling you that you are not good enough. And far too many young people I know, people in general I know, when they want to do something, somebody else is hitting them on their back saying, you are not good enough. Each and every one of you in this room has the ability to do something unique, something different, and become extraordinary. It's about discovering your skills, discovering your talent. And when somebody tells you that you can't do something because A, you made a mistake, or B, you're being lazy, pick yourself up and you prove them wrong. Very, very important. A lot of people like to sit back in that corner and moan, thinking their life is over. In fact, you're very, very young. When you're young, your life hasn't even started. When you make a mistake and you think, oh, my life is over, your life hasn't even started, so think in a positive way. When you have a positive mentality, and you're able to go forward in life, that is the key. When you face a negative situation, always be positive. Very, very important. So I wanted to prove my cousin wrong for firing me. He fired the most talented individual there was in East London. And that's the sort of arrogance you need inside. To tell other people that, in fact, you made a big mistake. You made a big mistake for not picking me, for not believing in me. So I went on to set up my own company. I wanted to be one step ahead of my cousin. He employed 5 people in his business. I wanted to employ 6. He was a managing director. I wanted to be a CEO. Everything one step ahead of my cousin. He designed calendars. No, I didn't want to sell to teachers in school. I wanted to sell outside of school. So I got a group of 6 friends together who were all tech geniuses, who knew how to design websites. I set up a website company at the age of 14. And you ask me, do I know how to design a website? The answer is no. A lot of people think that you need to have the skills or the knowledge to be able to do something. In fact, no, knowledge isn't always power. People is power. Because somebody else here in this room has the skills and abilities that you need to make your idea a success. If you lack the skills, there is somebody who you can partner with to make it happen. So I've got 6 friends who are tech geniuses. Employed them, all of them, and said, we're going to set up a website design company, and we're not going to sell to teachers in school. So, as normal, ordinary teenagers, we knew you've got nothing to lose. When you go up to somebody and you want to sell to them, and they reject you, well, hey, it's expected, you're young. We didn't want to sell to teachers, we went to big banks in the city of London, ABN AMRO, JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, HSBC, huge investment banking companies, as typical teenagers. Shirt, trouser, no. T-shirts and tracksuit bottoms and sneakers, walk through the door. We tried to break a stereotype because every single person walking through these big banks had suits on. We wanted to show what Gen Y really means. Gen Y means being different, being unique, not being told how to do certain things. T-shirts and tracksuit bottoms into big banks, no meeting, no appointment, can we design your website? 5 of the banks just grabbed us and threw us out. So how dare you? How dare a 14-year-old walk through our door? But let me tell you one thing, when you do something unique, something different, something outside the norm of what society is telling you to do, you stand out. You stand out and somebody sees you in a completely different way. And that's how Merrill Lynch was. We walked through the doors of Merrill Lynch, huge investment banking company. Walked through their doors and said, we're 14-year-old entrepreneurs setting up a company, we want to sell our first website, are you interested, can we design a website for you? And they were baffled. They were thinking, wow, we've never had a 14-year-old walk through our door before. Signed a contract with Merrill Lynch, and let me tell you this, 300 ringgit my cousin made at the age of 14 felt like being a millionaire to me. In the first 2 weeks of running the business, I made over 10,000 ringgit profit as a 14-year-old, and I thought I could retire on that money at the age of 14. That's how happy I felt. So I was running this company for a period of 2 years until I felt at the age of 16, website designing isn't really my thing. So I closed the business down, but I learned so much. The skills I learned, the knowledge I gained, I used to the best of my ability. But when you open the door for yourself at a young age, when you do something unique and different outside the norm of society, yes, I was still in school, yes, I was still studying, but on top of that, I ran my own company for 2 years. Not many young people do that, do something outside the norm of society. So, having walked through the doors of Merrill Lynch at the age of 14, they came back to me 2 years later, after I closed my business down, at the age of 16. They said, we've been following your journey. You were born and raised in a society that's seen crime, violence, drugs, alcohol as the way forward, yet at the age of 14 you become an entrepreneur. They gave me the opportunity at the age of 16 to go to New York. To go to New York to learn how to trade in the stock market, and for me it was an unbelievable experience. But I was scared. I was scared because anywhere I would go outside the UK, I would go with my mom. I was such a mommy's boy. Find it, oh, you need someone there, a guardian there to look after you. When you're able to be independent, do things on your own, take responsibilities for the actions you take, you become stronger. You become stronger and you're able to learn so much of your own mistakes. I went off to New York to learn how to trade in the stock market. It was a fantastic experience. I come back to London, at the age of 16 became a junior trader in the London Stock Exchange. Suddenly a lot of young people were asking me, within my community, how on earth does this guy who still plays football with us, who still goes to the cinemas with us, become an entrepreneur at the age of 14, an investor at the age of 16, whilst just entering high school? They were so confused as to how young people are able to do that. So I wanted to inspire a lot of young people, inspire them that actually age is just a number. That age, when you want to do something in life, don't wait until you're 30, do it now. Because when you do something now, you're already someone different. You're not expected. There is no mortgage on your shoulder, there is no loans to pay off, there is no children to look after. So you have less responsibility. Reverse the role of society. Society tells you to go to school, college, university, get a degree. After you get a degree, look for a job, get married, have children, and they go through that same process. Why go through a midlife crisis at the age of 30? Why not live the hard life now and enjoy life later? After you hit the age of 25, you become multi-millionaires, you become so successful. Enjoy life later, reverse it. Very, very important. So I want to inspire young people with that philosophy, to believe in themselves. So at the age of 17, I was just in college, typing away. It took me 3 months. 3 months to write my first book at the age of 17. For the world at your feet. 3 strikes to a successful entrepreneurial life. A book to inspire young people that no matter the age, race, religion, culture, or where you are from in the world, everyone has the ability to be extraordinary. Simple, simple, simple message. And when I wrote this book, I approached 40 different publishers. 40. And I got rejected by each and every one of those 40 publishers. Why? For 2 reasons. One, because I was 17 at the time. They thought a 17-year-old can't even write a book. And the other reason was the fact that they thought young people like yourself wouldn't come up to me and say, Sabirul, can I buy your book? They had a point there. Because young people don't like to part with their cash. So what happened? They were pointing that finger at me, telling me I wasn't good enough. And looking back to the day I got fired, my cousin pointed that finger at me, I was able to prove him wrong. So I just stood up, gave them the finger and said, actually I'm going to come back and I'm going to one day prove you wrong. So I went on to design my own book, self-published it. I didn't have to approach any publishers, but it introduced me to motivational speaking at the age of 17. Self-published my book at the age of 17. And what happened? I spoke at 379 events in the space of 9 months across the UK to reach out to the young people who the publisher said I could not reach out to, and sold 42,500 copies of my book at the age of 17 while still in high school studying. And each and every one of those 40 publishers all came back. Once they heard me sell over 40,000 copies of my book, each and every one of them came back saying, Sabirul, we've now heard you sell over 40,000 copies of your book, we now want to get it professionally published. The moment they said that, I just stood there and gave them their hands and I don't think so. Because if you didn't believe in me, why should I now believe in you? But the moment I said that, I got a phone call. I got a phone call from the cousin who fired me. He gives me a phone call and says, Sabirul, no matter how much fame, money, success you earn or achieve in life, never, ever, ever be arrogant. Always stay grounded. Always stay grounded and people respect you. People respect you for who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do, what your vision is, and they'll support you no matter what. People think that in life, to succeed in life, you need a lot of money. You ask me, the businesses I've set up, the ventures I've set up, has it cost me money? It has not cost me a single penny. Because people is power. Money is a man-made thing. It has no true value. If you know the right people, people will jump onto your success because they know your potential. They know where you want to go. If you're strong enough, you stand up and you express yourself, who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go, and you share your success, you share your story, you share your vision. People will want to support you. Because one day, 20 years down the line, you could be a world celebrity. And they could be standing there saying, hey, I helped this guy. And that to them is more powerful than giving them 100,000 ringgit just to pay off for you to get your business up and running. Very, very important. So for me, having rejected 40 publishers, my cousin telling me not to be arrogant, I had to look for a publisher. I got the book professionally published at the age of 18. And it took about 10 months. 10 months to produce the book. And I thought to myself, 10 months, I need to do something within that 10-month period. So I got a group of 6, 11 to 15-year-olds because I don't like wasting time. When you're young, at any age, you shouldn't waste time. Make the most of time. Very, very important. So I got a group of 6, 11 to 15-year-olds together and said, what do you know about business? In business you need marketing, loans, expenses, sales, all these sort of things they were throwing at me. They come over to my house every single weekend for a period of 10 months and we're developing a concept that's fun, that's educational, that teaches business. And within the space of 10 months I produced my business board game. Business board game called Teen-Trepreneur. Strike as the next tycoon. A game to educate young people about entrepreneurship. That in fact you don't need the most money to be successful. To give young people an opportunity to understand how business is so simple. A game is now developed by 6, 11 to 15-year-olds, now sold to over 600 schools in the UK and it's now selling in 14 countries worldwide. But when I produced the game, I approached 5 investors and they told me, each and every one of those 5 investors told me your game would not sell. Your game would not sell. And again they were pointing that finger at me saying, you are not good enough. But when somebody tells me I'm not good enough, I don't sit back in that corner over there, in that empty chair, and moan thinking my life is over. Pick myself up and went to prove them wrong. Because at the end of the day, if you have that self-belief in your own passion, in your own vision, nobody else can come in your way. Got the game produced, now selling worldwide, sold over 300,000 copies in the space of 2 years. It's been a huge success in many, many countries, and it's in fact used as part of the business studies qualification in over the 600 schools I've sold it to in the UK. A game developed by young people who've got very limited knowledge about business is actually teaching other youths how to understand about business. So it shows you don't need a 40-year-old's knowledge to do something. When you're young, you've got enough knowledge to be able to go and pursue your own career. So it just shows again that in fact age is just a number. But going back to you when I was 17 and I wrote my first book. When I wrote my first book at the age of 17, I took a Panther magazine. I paid £600, which is equivalent to around 3,000 ringgit to be on a magazine which went out to every single university across the UK. And for 6 months I had absolutely nothing. And I thought, wow, that's 3,000 ringgit gone down the drain. When you take a risk and you're patient, very, very important, be patient, something will happen. I got a phone call. I got a phone call from someone I did not expect. You would not expect to get a phone call from this person. I got a phone call from the former First Lady of Nigeria. She gives me a phone call saying, Sabirul, I've read your article in this magazine. I found it really inspirational. She invited me to go over to Nigeria to speak in front of 3,500 young people. It completely blew me away. Completely blew me away. I was in Lagos, holding my luggage, just landed in the airport. First step I took outside the airport, I'm looking up. Do you know what I see? I see a massive billboard with my face on it. In Lagos. Every mile I would drive by, you see a huge billboard with nothing else but my face on it saying, "Welcome to Nigeria, Sabirul." I felt like a celebrity in a country I've never been to. And that shows the power of inspiration. When somebody else somewhere across another nation believes in you so much, they go through so much effort to bring you into their country, to inspire their youth, to change the lives of their youth. For me, that blew me away. I went off to Nigeria, spoke in front of 3,500 people, which I never, ever, ever, ever thought I would do. One thing that really stood out for me was, having spoken in front of 3,500, there was one young guy who went on to write his own book to inspire young Nigerians. He was so inspired. Went on to write his own book to inspire other young Nigerians to get into entrepreneurship. Flew over to London, just came knocking on my door out of the blue just to shake my hand and say the word, "Sabirul, you have changed my life." And that brought tears to my eyes. For someone to go through that effort just to fly over and shake my hand and say, "You've changed my life," that opened my eyes. It opened my eyes as to what I'm personally capable of doing. It's not just the fact that, oh, I've been running businesses, I've been investing, I've been writing books, but changing a person's mentality from having a negative view in life, which he did, to something so positive, now empowering other youths worldwide. It opened my eyes. It opened my eyes that why am I just limiting myself to the UK? Why not go to the rest of the world? And for me, that was a very, very big breakthrough. So at the age of 20, I set up a campaign. I set up a campaign called the Inspire 1 Million, with a vision to go to 20 countries in the space of 12 months to inspire a minimum of 1 million people. 20 countries in the space of 12 months to inspire 1 million people, and that took off last year in May. Took off last year, and I've traveled to the Maldives, across Europe, Japan, Botswana, South Africa, Swaziland, so many countries I've been to just to reach out to young people. To reach out to young people and inspire them with the same message, that no matter the age, race, religion, culture, or where you are from in the world, everyone has the ability to be extraordinary. I've set up multiple businesses over the years, but one thing, the message I want to share with you is the 7 P's. The 7 P's are vital. No matter, I mentioned one of them before. The 7 P's are vital. First is positivity. No matter where you are going, what you want to do, if you come across an obstacle or a hurdle, always have a positive mindset. Always have a positive mindset. Because if you have a positive mindset, any sort of obstacle, any sort of failure, you know you're able to overcome. It's very, very important. Positivity is the way forward. Next one. Next one is passion. Follow what you love doing. Don't live somebody else's dream. I know so many young people who follow somebody else's dream, and that is the problem. If you love something, if you have a desire to do something, do it. Who should stop you? Nobody. Because you are in control of your own life. Because let me tell you something, I've come across so many people who let culture come in the way. Yes, respect your culture, but don't let it pull you down. Don't let it pull you down, because so many people are so trapped within their own culture that they don't see the bigger world, the bigger picture. And it takes a bold person to stand up to that. A bold person, very bold. But it is not wrong to challenge it. It is not wrong to challenge. Respect it, yes, but it's not wrong to challenge it. Next is perseverance, hard work. Perseverance is critical, because if you're not working hard day in, day out, you're not going to go anywhere. So many people think, oh, I'll work hard one day and then give up the next. No. Perseverance, hard work is very important. Then that follows by persistence. Number 4 is persistence. Keep trying. Even if you fail, you keep trying. Learn from your mistakes. Because if you keep succeeding, your bar's at the same level. When you make a mistake, you learn from it and you raise the bar. Very, very important. The next one is purpose. Live life with meaning. Because a lot of people just want to do certain things because, oh, somebody else is doing it. Or because they just want to live on a day-by-day basis. Live life with meaning. You want to leave a legacy. You leave this world, what are you remembered for? What are you remembered for? Somebody must remember you for something. It's very, very important that you leave a legacy, something you're remembered for. Your life must have meaning. Until you discover yourself what your true meaning in life is, you will find it very, very difficult. Sit down, have a think about who you are, where you want to go, and what you want.